good yesterday? Okay. Well, I hope you can read me. Do 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 do. Come, come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Do do do.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Great job. Thank you. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
All right. It's so good to see all of you this evening. How is everyone doing? Okay. Who's feeling grateful for something? Rochelle, what are you feeling grateful for? Health and family's health in general. Amen. That's wonderful. Yes, who else? Ellen? Oh my gosh. Ellen's son got an all clear on his cancer. Amazing. Thank God. And I was just teaching Ellen the blessing for good news. I want to teach everybody. This is a good one to have in your spiritual vocabulary. When you hear good news, it's actually not Shehechianu, but that's a good guess, Sybil. There's another one for good news. The blessing is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hatov v'hametiv. Good. It means, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who is good and does good. So, hatov v'hametiv. Yeah. So you can remember that. And if you forget, you can ask me. When you hear good news, you give thanks. Yeah. So, all right, those are wonderful things to give thanks for. I hope you're all feeling some gratitude this evening. Give some thought to what you're feeling grateful for as we begin our service this evening. Cantor, where are we going to start tonight?
We start our journey through the Psalms on page 12. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria letzor ishenu, nekadem afanav v'toda. Naria, naria letzor ishenu, bizmiro naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai.
Let's turn to page 20, and we're going to join together in singing this song, Lecha Dodi, which we all know and love. It's a poem written in the acrostic form. I think we've probably talked about this before, but I just want to point it out again. If you look at the verses of Lecha Dodi here on page 20, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., you can see the first letter of each verse. So Shin is the first letter of the first verse. Then Lamed is the first letter of verse 2. Then Mem is the first letter of verse 3. And Hey is the first letter of verse 4. That spells Shlomo. If you go down, Shlomo. Shlomo is the name of the author of the poem. So Shlomo, I don't know if he was a very humble man or not, but he wrote his name into the poem. Back in the day, that's how poets did attribution. So you knew who wrote it for all time, because every time you sing the song, you think of Shlomo Halevi. You can find it if you go all the way down. Shlomo Halevi was a mystic in Tzfat in the 16th century in the land of Israel, and he wrote this song about greeting the Shabbat bride as she comes into the world at the setting of the sun. So we're going to sing and welcome Shabbat.
Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Verse 2.
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor ha'beracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Verse 5.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, Ki va'orech u'mi'ori, Uri, uri, shir daveri, Kevod Adonai alayich nigra, Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
If it is your custom to greet Shabbat as she enters into the world by rising, I invite you to do so now. Verse 9.
Shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha uvetzola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
On the bottom of page 22, we're going to sing this ending section of Psalm 92. One of the something that I've talked about recently was the intimate connection between our sacred texts and the land of Israel, and ideas and religious philosophy and its interconnectedness with the land. And you see that here really in the Psalms. So if we look at this last paragraph, which we'll read together in just a second, we see that that righteousness and those who manifest it are described in terms of trees and the landscape of Eretz Yisrael and its environment. It's interesting because I think in our time we don't tend to speak in those terms, but maybe that's because we are not so intimately connected with our environment as human beings used to be. Maybe a part of the spiritual quest is to try to find that connection, to reestablish it and become more rooted, so to speak, in our land. Let's read together the bottom paragraph. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong.
Rabbi, your teaching of this text is very prescient because on Tuesday in our prayer lab class, we were studying Psalm 92. We began to, and one of the things that I'm going to be doing in our next session is we're going to start to listen to some examples of it. And so it just gave me the idea that maybe the next couple weeks we can think about some different versions of this and how it paints the text. So we'll do something familiar for Tzadik Katamar, but maybe first let's try something for Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Let's try that together. Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat. And at the indented part, Tzadik Katamar Yifrach Ke'erez Balvanon Yizgeh Shetolim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Or Yenuvon Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yehu Lehagid Yashar Adonai Zori Velo Avlata Bo.
Page 28. I invite you to please rise. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la. 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 Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed. Ya la 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 la. 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 Page 30, together in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, boreh yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Amen. Page 32.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokbeinu uvekomeinu נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Ki heim chayenu ve'yorech yameinu ve'yorech yameinu uvahem nehege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. Page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 39 at the bottom. Let's read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us
continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. On the next page.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, La 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 la. Mi chamocha v'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot osei feleh, norat tehilot osei feleh. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Malchutecha ra'u banecha, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי אנו ויאמרו, זה אלי אנו ויאמרו. Adonai Yimloch Leolam Vaed V'nehemar Ki fada Adonai et Yaakov וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 43. Together at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shivenu Leshalom.
On 45.
V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבה ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבה ויהי נפש.
Together on page 47 in the middle. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. I invite you to please rise now. Page 46.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו יהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue in private meditation, standing or sitting as is your custom, and comfort using either side of the page or the words of your heart. Feel free to continue your private meditations at your own pace. You can also join me on page 60 for the evening prayer for peace and wholeness. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We pray now for our loved ones, our friends and family members and fellow congregants, people here and in Israel and around the world, people whose names we know and those whose names we don't know, people who are struggling with sickness and pain and sorrow, people who need strength and peace. If you're praying for someone this evening and you'd like to say their name, I invite you to do so now. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks, Rochelle. Thanks, Arlene. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Ina. Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Ella. Thanks, Barbie. Thank you, Mark. Thanks, John. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Phil. Thanks, Nicole.
Yehuda Yosef Harel Ben Karnit Rachel and Jay Dolinky.
Thank you, Cantor. Page 253, we join together in Mishaberach, our prayer for healing.
Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah uyevarech veyerapeh et hacholim. Mishaberach Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah uyevarech veyerapeh et hacholim. Ana refanala, ana refanala, ana refanala, ana refanala. Please, God, heal them.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Close your books. Settle in. Settle in. Remember last week I talked about when we had the Torah reading, and we talked about the customs of classical Reform Judaism, and that included a 45-minute sermon? Well, see, if I set the expectation of a 45-minute sermon, and then I come in under that, it's pretty good, right? Okay. So last week, I told you about my trip with the Chicago rabbis that I took to Rome. This morning, in thinking about my sermon for tonight, I remembered a conversation I had on that trip with one of my colleagues. Actually, it was the colleague who was leading our trip, our teacher and rabbi to the rabbis, Yechiel Pupko. Rabbi Pupko is the scholar in residence at the Jewish Federation of Chicago. In that role, one of the things he gets to do is organize and lead educational tours for rabbis and lay leaders to places of Jewish interest around the world. I think this is a pretty exciting job that he has. And we were walking around Rome one day visiting the sites, and I was walking alongside him, and I said to Rabbi Pupko, I asked him, so, how did you get this gig? And his response was classic Rabbi Pupko, blending intricate Jewish knowledge with a wry sense of humor. He says, gig? It's not a gig. It's avoidus perich. Okay, avoidus perich, which he pronounces with the characteristic Ashkenazic accent, is a midrashic phrase about our slavery in Egypt. It means crushing servitude. Crushing servitude, avoidus perich. Now, I've been chuckling all day thinking about that conversation and how he said it. Leading a group of Jews as they traipse across the globe, or even when they stay put for that matter, is indeed hard work. Just ask Moses. Rabbi Pupko's remark came to my mind because the beginning of this week's Parasha Ki Tisa is about congregational leadership. Not the spiritual and pastoral leadership that we in the clergy do, but the kind of leadership we call governance, or the business side of the congregation. The parasha begins with what we might describe as the first system of temple dues. God said to Moses, "This is what everyone who is entered in the records shall pay, a half shekel as an offering to Adonai. Everyone who is entered in the records from the age of 20 years up shall give Adonai's offering. The rich shall not pay more, and the poor shall not pay less than half a shekel." The Mishnah, which if you took the class I taught on Intro to the Jewish Classics, you know, is the earliest layer of rabbinic legal interpretations of the Torah. The Mishnah explains that these dues, which it should be noted, are assessed at a flat rate of 1/2 shekel for every adult member, no matter the size of their bank account, will go to fund both the religious life of the community, such as purchasing ritual items and paying the clergy, and the physical maintenance of the temple, including cleaning up the property and repairing roadways that were damaged during the winter. The Mishnah also specifies a method for collecting dues from the community, including putting controls in place to ensure that no one steals from the treasury or even gives the appearance of impropriety in handling the members' money. According to rabbinic law, the community must appoint no fewer than 7 trustees and 3 financial officers to administer the business of the temple. And the rabbis emphasize that any member of the congregation is eligible to become a trustee. Every member has an equal share in the work of the temple. That's why everyone pays the same dues amount of 1/2 shekel. Times have surely changed since the ancient temple stood in Jerusalem. We no longer do what they do. We don't make sacrifices of animals in our services. We sing and pray, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. Just as in temple times, modern congregations like ours are organizations that are in the business of serving the spiritual needs of the Jewish people. Sometimes that's hard for us to swallow. After all, we don't necessarily want to think about our synagogue as a business. In fact, sometimes even talking about the business of the synagogue feels strange, even unholy. For many of us, the synagogue is about spirituality and community and inspiration and the soul. Whereas things like collecting dues, paying bills, replacing the HVAC system, negotiating salaries, and balancing budgets belong to another, more mundane realm of life. It's totally understandable to feel that way. Most of us come to the temple to transcend the day-to-day and focus on things that we find deeper and more meaningful. Which is why I think it's so interesting and important that the Torah and the Mishnah include all these halachot about temple administration. The fact that they do so indicates that even when it came to the majestic Beit HaMikdash that stood at the nexus between heaven and earth, governance was an integral part of the enterprise. The Kohen Gadol and his team of priests could not properly serve the community without a board of trustees working behind the scenes to make sure the bills were paid, the staff was compensated, and the parking lot was in good repair. But the rabbis teach us something even more profound about synagogue governance too. By including temple administration, financial management, and building maintenance in the Mishnah, which after all our tradition regards as a sacred text, the rabbis are telling us that synagogue governance is itself a portal to holiness and spirituality. Tending to the business of the temple, no less than going to Friday night services or helping out at the food pantry, is a form of avodah, service to God. Those who volunteer their time and expertise to manage the business of Temple Beth-El deserve our deep appreciation because by doing what they do in the boardroom, they ensure that we can do everything we do in this chapel and beyond. The countless hours they spend in board meetings and on Zoom calls with our professional team and in conversations with all kinds of vendors and community partners all go to helping us be the best possible synagogue for our members that we can be. You may not see all of them at Friday night services every week, but I can promise you that every single one of them is showing up with their whole self to do the holy avodah which we rely on them to do. But to borrow Rabbi Pupko's phrase, the avodah of temple governance can easily become avodas perich, crushing servitude. That's because managing the business of the synagogue sometimes requires making hard decisions. And to quote one of my childhood rabbis, as in the days of Moses, our people murmur. As you know, a few months ago, our Board of Trustees launched a strategic planning process to plan for the future of Temple Beth-El. We are blessed to be led in this work by a team of congregants who know this community inside and out and who love our congregation with their entire being. I cannot overstate the importance of the work they are doing. We began with a 2-day retreat with the full Board of Trustees, facilitated by an experienced business planning consultant, during which we examined our challenges and opportunities and began to chart a vision for TBE's next 100 years. Over the course of the last 3 months, our leadership team has been meeting weekly to set objectives and review our progress. I am very excited to say that the process is moving along very well. We are doing the work that needs to be done, and we are well positioned to secure a vibrant and healthy future for our congregation right here in Great Neck. For my part, I want to tell you that I love this congregation and I'm optimistic and excited about our future. Temple Beth-El is my home and my family's home. And I plan to work alongside our outstanding lay leadership every step of the way for the long term. Make no mistake about it. It is going to take a lot of work by a lot of dedicated people. And there will be some hard decisions to make. I am confident that we can and will succeed in this avodah as long as we support each other and remember that we're all on the same team. We all want TBE to flourish for many years to come, and it's through this strategic planning that we're going to get there. So tonight I want to invite you to help us succeed. Let's all try to be our highest and best selves in our interactions with each other. Share your thoughts and feedback with our trustees. Ask questions, be concerned, and be kind. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Let's remember that one of Judaism's most important mitzvot is hava'at shalom ben adam lachavero, to bring peace between people. Our trustees are showing up every day of the week with their whole selves and with one goal and one goal only: to serve the people and the institution of Temple Beth-El in the best way they possibly can. This is avodah, sacred work, divine service. God forbid that guiding the business of the temple should become avodas perich for our lay leaders. Instead, they need our patience, our support, our appreciation, and our trust. Because these fellow congregants who do the business of the synagogue, like Moses, Miriam, Aaron, and Joshua, they are the ones who are going to lead us through the wilderness to the promised land. Shabbat Shalom.
Lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai lai ya lai lai ya lai 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 ai lai lai ai lai lai ai lai 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 I, Page 282. Please rise. Later לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא וראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We remember now our loved ones whom death has taken from this life. If you are comfortable and able to do so, I invite you to rise as you hear the name of your loved one read. On this Shabbat, we are in Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning for Stuart Lubert. We are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Susan Laurel, Jason Reiner, and Joan Spiro. And we recall the yahrzeits of Gertrude Bloom, Joseph Casper, David Davis, Francis Levine, Eli Marcus, Jack Pilevsky, Jack Schwartz, Brian Jeffrey Smith, Clara Oken Yedvab, and Joseph Eli. If you're remembering someone whose name wasn't read and you'd like to share it with us, I invite you to rise and do so. Thank you, John. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Joy. Zichronama, I'm sorry.
David Laban ben Meir Vimanya.
Thank you, Cantor. Zichronama livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. We join together now as one community. If you're comfortable, I invite you to rise. And on page 294, we'll say the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba. Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Bechayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. May their memories be for a blessing. We say together, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's so wonderful to pray with you this evening. I want to say some thank yous, and then we'll hear some announcements. So first, thank you to our wonderful usher, Phil Perlman, who always greets us with a smile. Thank you to the Margaloff family for the challah this evening. Thank you to our wonderful Oneg bakers, Linda Diamond, Sharon Freeman, Ellen Safian, Lee Kaplan, Gloria Landsberg, Andrew Lazarus, Joanna Stolov, Debbie Sutton, and the Lubert family. And Sandy, I just want to greet you and your family. I'm glad that you're here this evening, and our hearts are with you as you grieve, and we all grieve for Stuart. On Sunday morning, and let me say thank you to Cantor Adam for a beautiful and inspiring service this evening.
Thank you.
And on Sunday morning, we are going to have the annual rabbinic dialogue that will be held at Temple Israel, starting at 9:30 on Sunday morning. I'm going to be participating along with Rabbi Stecker from Temple Israel and Rabbi Polikoff from Great Neck Synagogue. And the topic of our conversation is going to be Israel and the post-October 7th world. And then Cantor, I know on Tuesday will be session 2 of your class. You want to say something about the class?
Yes, we're going to be compounding and crystallizing some thoughts about prayer and exploring what it means to pray and what it's like to pray and what is prayer. So join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some tinctures of tefillah. We're going to study the periodic table of prayer. It's going to be really exciting and fun.
That was good alliteration. I liked it. And high vocabulary, too. Tinctures. That's a great word.
I didn't do well in high school chemistry, so I'm making up for it now.
The periodic table of prayer. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Please join for that on Tuesday night at 7. That'll be session 2 will be this week, and then session 3 would be the following week.
You can take it pass-fail.
And do you want to say something about the Nowruz celebration?
Yes. On March 21st, we're going to celebrate with our neighbors and our own members and the whole community of Great Neck Persian New Year, Nowruz. We're going to have a really exciting program here with a lot of music and readings from roomy, and there'll be what's called a haftzin table. It's the Persian version of kind of a Seder table. It'll be really wonderful to learn about some of the customs of our neighbors here in Great Neck with some of our members. We're also going to have special guests, Galit and Danielle Dardashti, who are wonderful clergy colleagues in their own right, but they're the granddaughters of the famed Eunice Dardashti, the Nightingale of Iran, who was like the equivalent of Taylor Swift in Iran a long time ago. And so they have a special podcast they've been doing called The Nightingale of Iran about their grandfather that's become a big hit on public radio exchange. So you can find that online and on your favorite podcast. But they're going to be here, and they're going to talk about it, and they're going to demonstrate some of the music of their grandfather, and we'll hear just a lot of great stuff. And of course, there'll be tea and cookies and some bites as well. So come and join us.
That sounds really great. That's going to be a
fun.
wonderful event.
And speaking of fun, a couple days later,
apropos of Persia,
it's Shushan Night Live. And we're going to be celebrating Purim here at Temple Beth-El, and our Purim spiel will feature you. So we'd love to have you join us. You don't have to have any singing or acting ability. You just have to be willing to show up. So come see me at the Oneg or right after services, and I'll get you involved. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great. Wonderful things coming up for the temple. So we are going to sing a closing song, and then I would like to invite, I know that we have at least a couple of board members and past presidents here in our synagogue, and apropos of our gratitude to those who handle the business of the synagogue, I want to invite you, if you're a board member or a past president of the temple, I just want to invite you to come up for the Kiddush and Motzi as we conclude our service.
Page 321. Adon olam asher malach beterem kol tzir nivra liyed nasa bechefzo kol hazai melech shemo nikra v'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimlok nora v'hu haya v'hu hove v'hu yihye betifara v'hu echad v'yein sheni להמשיל לו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי ונת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אף כדרוכי בעת ישן ויהירה ואם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחיל לנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלת Shabbat Lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתיאבון.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Join us downstairs for the Oneg.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.